first time we hit $100K, I'm pretty sure we made no money.
It hurts your soul.
I ended up getting fired from my recruitment job. The business was doing about 2,000 a month.
We just got it from 4K to 10K within that month.
In 20 months' time, less than 2 years, your agency's dead. And do you think you're going to be able to sell it for 20 million?
Sam, Luke.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here.
And thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you guys. You guys are, when it comes to the agency space, you get a lot of these, no disrespect to the smaller guys, but you get a lot of these kind of younger guys that are like just starting out and they whatever. You guys have been in the game for a lot longer than most, and you just both switched on guys. I've worked with you guys for quite a bit now, so it's gonna be good. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it, man. For sure.
Give me some backstory. You guys used to be friends in school, I think you said, right? Before?
Yeah, we went to different schools, but they were next door to each other, basically.
Yeah, like 5 minutes from.
Yeah, and everyone in our area is kind of weird. Like, everyone knows everybody. It's like quite a big community vibe. So we knew each other from, how long have we known each other?
Yeah, from 15 years old. Didn't I get you on that shoot that first time? The extra, you were extra.
I think that's the first time I actually met you. Luke, I'll let you talk about what you used to do. You had like an acting agency thing going on where we used to be extras in films. And the first film we done was we were extras for a football hooligan film.
Yeah, that was
do you remember?
Ice Cream Wars.
Yeah.
Ice Cream. I never heard of that.
Yeah.
I have to give that a watch.
No, it was honestly so mental. Like, there was loads of riot police and we were doing it in, I think it was Twickenham Stadium.
Yeah, I think,
Twickenham Stadium, yeah. So we were the hooligans, and one of the scenes was we just had to fight the riot police, but like it was full on fighting.
Yeah, we were actually fighting.
They just said to you, like, go at it. Like,
yeah.
Well, no, because what it's supposed to be, but they were like be realistic as possible. But then they had batons, and we didn't, and we had like wooden fake sticks. But then they were actually hitting us with the batons, and it started getting serious. So we were just everyone just going at it.
It was a massive ruck.
I love that.
Yeah,
But I took it a little, well, the first time it happened, the director said, you need to be more real. Like, imagine you're actually there. So I don't know what came over me. The scene went like, let's go. And I just fucking spat at this guy right in his face.
Spat at him?
Spat him right in the face. And he just clumped me so hard with the bat in my kneecaps. And I was like, oh.
We were like 15 at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't condone spitting in people. But, you know, I got caught in the moment.
I love that. And so
yeah,
you
we've
guys,
been friends for that since then.
That's great. I love that. So you guys have been friends for a while. At what point was it like, you know what, we should do a business together, or how did that all start?
Well, there's
Here we go.
you know what? There's certain things, obviously, that we can't delve into in too much detail.
Yeah.
But we grew up always trying to make a pound note.
Yes.
You know?
I understand.
Through various different ways. I mean, like, Luke sold everything. He sold sledges when it snows, Terry's chocolate oranges, PlayStation 3s. I was a little bit different in a sense of I fell into sales when I was like 17. So I was always kind of in an environment where like you get in what you put out type of thing, which is where I think maybe my entrepreneurial mind was kind of cultivated. But I would say by nature, Luke's definitely more of like a natural entrepreneur with the ideas way of things, if you look at like the younger years, for sure.
Okay, cool. And so you used to be in sales.
Yeah.
What kind of sales were you in?
Alternative investments. So my first ever job was actually around the corner from here. So we're in Whitechapel. My first office was in Aldgate East. So it was an environment where like you made 300 calls a day. I wasn't allowed a chair. You weren't allowed to sit down. If you got caught sitting down, you get fined half a day's wage. If you were late, you got fined half a day's wage.
Half a day's wage?
Half a day.
I'm screwed. I'm always late.
so was I. And I think we were only on like £1,000 a month basic at the time, plus commission. And yeah, it was rough, man, because I was probably late like 2 or 3 days out of the week.
You think he'll teach you a lesson?
Yeah, you think it worked. Yeah.
But it was the type of culture where like we would go out on the piss a lot. So it was really ingrained in a culture where like every single Thursday you're going out for beers, Friday you're going out for beers. So you go out for beers with the bosses on a Thursday, and like stuff got wild. So like we'd be out late, back at an afters. Or if you try and get to work at 9 a.m. after a day like that, it's difficult.
For sure. And what did you do before all this?
I had like loads of like little, I'd say, business.
Selling PS3. That shows you right.
I'll do everything. Yeah. So like, I had loads of different things going on, but I worked in a bank for like 10 years, Metro Bank.
Okay.
I started there when there was only 15 branches, and then when I left there was like 75. So I was doing that, but I always knew I wanted a business. Like I was always doing businesses. Like the extra thing was I was an extra, and I realized that they needed more extras and they couldn't find them. So I'll be like, I can get you whoever you need. Like, how many do you want? And I'd get them, and then I would charge them percentage for finding people. Then I'd charge all my mates £10 each for getting them there, and I'll be there as well. So it's just things like that.
I love that. I love that kind of, it shows, right? Like the entrepreneurs is that even when I had a job, like every single side hustle, you just know there's more to life than just working a job and trying to do all that stuff, which
did all that. I had an events company that kind of flopped, but I had good fun, you know.
That was a fun period. Yeah, no, we should talk about that a little bit actually, because that was like a big part of our early 20s. So like Luke had a massive like house music event, and we just used to throw the maddest parties with everybody in our area, everybody coming together. We hired out venues in Brighton, in London. One time we had a set in Ministry of Sound after party.
Oh, sick.
That was
the VR festival as well. Yeah, we had a little tent there with this Desperado stage.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Why did it flop? What happened?
COVID killed it off. Like it was gathering momentum,
COVID,
and we had like a lot of good events booked in. We had a few things in Ibiza sorted out, and then COVID obviously stopped events. And then after that, I think during COVID at that time as well, our business started when it came back, started to take off. So it's just a distraction.
Yeah,
just a distraction. So
that makes sense.
You know how like a lot of younger entrepreneurs in this space are like so dialed in, and it's really admirable. Like I love it when someone's so dialed in, but when I see like certain kids who are like 18, 19, 20 and they're doing really well, and I love that. But I think a lot of people actually forget to have fun. Do you know what I mean?
Fully agree.
And like when I actually look back on our teenage years and early 20s, like, bro, we were just partying all the time, just having a good time. But we always had a really strong work ethic as well.
Yeah. It's like something I was just saying to Carlos before you guys come in was that when I'm 80 or 90, whatever, am I going to wish that I had another $5,000 in my bank account? Or will I wish that I bought that table in Vegas and lived it up or whatever, right? Like I'm always, it's providing you're confident in yourself, and I know that when I'm 80, I'm going to have a lot more money than I've got now. And I'm going to trade or wish with everything I had that I could trade that money for more times that I've got now, you know, because we ain't getting younger. So yeah, I fully agree. There are a lot of these guys. The problem is a lot of young men is they're already pulled to that lifestyle. Yeah. And so they need to have these gurus essentially telling them, don't spend your money, save your money, blah, blah, blah. Because then that kind of pulls them in the right direction a little bit, and then hopefully they get a mix of both. But I've met plenty of guys that are way younger than us that don't drink, and you know, that's fair enough to them. But like at the same time, like don't regret it. You know, if that's your choice, then great. But don't wish that you did it in the future.
I think we're a little bit older as well, right? So how old are you?
I'm 32.
32. So I'm 30, you're 32. I don't remember life being so health focused when we were like in our early 20s. Like no one really knew what sourdough bread was or intermittent fasting. Like there wasn't really that education. Like this was a time where you just go out for beers with the boys and no one was tracking calories, it felt like. Yeah. Whereas now, like there's been times I've been in David Lloyd's sauna and I'm overhearing some like, you know, guys in that early 20s, good looking lads, you know, looking like they should be out having fun. Oh, what are you doing on the weekend, mate? Oh, so I'm training for a high rocks and I'm doing a half marathon. Oh, that's great. Like, it's cool stuff. But I look back to some of the funnest times we've had. It's been with the boys in Ibiza. Fully agree, man. Just partying, having a great time.
I love that. Yeah, I fully agree. So going back to the business side of things then. So how long have you guys actually been... Also, I know
going back to your original question was like, so how we actually started.
How did you guys actually... At what point did you say, let's start an agency? Like how did that happen?
I went to South Africa, right? I went to Cape Verde and I got mad burnt, right? I'm fucking pale as fuck. I got burnt so badly. I had blisters and that, and I couldn't go in the sun for the rest of the holiday. So I just spent 7 days just watching Jordan playing on YouTube. Honestly, like 7 hours every day, because I was like, this is the only time I'm ever going to get to do this, because I knew I wanted to start something, and I knew social media was a good way. I knew from my event I could build followers at the time. I knew I could build followers easy. 7 days worth of research. On the last day, I was like, cool, I'm going to call Sam. I'm going to say, do you want to come in on this together? And he just said yeah straight away, and then we just cracked on from there.
What year was this?
2019.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
So you were still doing it because the event business closed because of COVID. So you guys were doing the agency and you were doing the event.
Yeah, because we both had our jobs. So he was working in recruitment. I had my job in the bank.
And you had two bottles.
And then we had, there was more than that.
We were doing all sorts. We were selling trainers. We had our fingers in quite a few pies. I was doing okay in recruitment, to be fair. I was earning quite good money for my age. You know, like it looked like I was doing a lot better than I was though. Like just stereotypical sales guy from how I was taught from people who I thought had all of the answers. Financed a watch, had a Merc on the drive, and I had like 10 grand worth of credit card debt, because if I earned 5k in a month, I'd spend 6. Yeah. Because I was just involved in, you know, when you look at top billers on a sales floor, that's how they were living. And I was like, well, I want to be like them. Yeah. And that was kind of who I looked up to. No one really taught me about financial education or anything. So it was around about that time HW Media really kind of like started to kick off and take off. There's more to the story, but we'll come on to that a little bit later.
Talk me through the early days. So even your first client, do you remember getting your first client?
Yeah.
Everyone was their first client, right?
Super Simon. That's really Super Simon.
How did you, first of all, how did you acquire him? And what even happened?
He replied to a DM.
So you were doing cold DMs, is that how you were getting?
Didn't know him or anything.
We didn't know him or anything. He was the first lead we ever generated, the first person I ever called. I remember I was working in recruitment. The time he messaged me saying, I'm free for a call now. So I said to my manager, I'm just going to go to the toilet. I went to like the 7th floor. I was working on the 3rd. So I know that no one would walk in or see me. So I pitched him in a cubicle toilet. And like, it's mad guy actually, like just came out of prison, had a roofing firm. And he agreed to sign up, and the offer at the time was £200 a month, and it was, we can get you 1,000 followers a month on Instagram.
So your business, sorry, because obviously I know what you guys do now, right?
Yeah.
Your business model was completely different back then. So first of all, he wasn't med spa, he was roofer.
Well, there was no model. We could just sign anyone.
And your offer was helping them get organic Instagram followers.
Yeah, that was it. That's all we knew. But social media was different then. You know, I think this is before ads were really like kicking off. You could like hire bots at the time to follow 1,000 people a day and then unfollow 1,000 people in the same day. So that's how we were growing followers back then. And
you'll get work from it, obviously, because they're all targeted.
These aren't bots. These aren't like Indian Asian bots. They're real followers.
Yeah.
And we post 3 or 4 times a week, and that was the offer.
But within 2 months of doing it, so we did it for him and it worked well. We did it a few other random businesses. It would be like restaurants, wherever, some of his friends, scaffolders, wherever. The software that we used to generate the followers, it went down and Instagram changed something so they couldn't work. So we're like, we can't even offer this anymore because we could do it manually, but you'd only get like 200 followers a month. So we're like, okay, we'll run Google adverts for you. And we just run smart Google adverts and they just worked. And the roofing company, you only need one job, get him good money. He's only giving us 200 quid, putting 300 quid into the ads and generating decent money. So it just kind of went from there, but it was random. We would do anything for anyone. We'd do graphic design for someone. We'd do social media management. We'd do Google ads.
We made leaflets, business cards.
Random.
I even helped this one guy. I taught him how to send emails because he just didn't know how to send an email. Guy called Jimmy Driveway. He had one arm, genuinely one arm, but he was amazing at Driveway.
He had one arm. Yeah.
We used to say that he's armless because he was a really nice guy.
That's such a bad joke, Jesus. Yeah.
But no, he done well, to be fair, and he was a referral from Simon. So done well for Simon.
He got us loads
Simon.
of different clients. He helped us get like a couple grand a month just from his friends because it wasn't that hard. They're all in trades. We weren't running adverts for the time. We were posting in Facebook groups for them, like all kind of organic stuff. Got a couple of grand from them, and they would always make the money back because it's trades. You know, you don't need one job to be winning. So he helped us a lot at the time. Like, he's a good lad.
And then from there, you guys carried on doing the cold DM stuff. At what point did you say we're going to help med spas and we're going to do Facebook? Like, where did that transition start to happen?
It probably not for a year and a half, perhaps.
Because of COVID. It was
because
after
COVID happened. So COVID happened. We just spent $3,000, which at the time was a lot of money to us, on a course to really learn how to do Facebook ads. Have you ever heard of a guy called Jeff Miller? American dude. Yeah. So that's the first course we bought. And actually, retrospectively looking back on it, it was a really good course. Probably a little bit too advanced for us at the time because there's so much there, but we learned how to do Facebook ads. Bang, pandemics hit. All of our clients have left us because they can't pay. They didn't leave us, but they're like, look, we can't pay you.
Of course,
you know? Obviously, we were still employed, so it's not the end of the world, but it was around about that time I got
Wait, sorry, when you're still employed, sorry, you mean in COVID, you guys still had your full-time job?
Yeah.
Well, I got furloughed. Did you get furloughed?
Because I worked in the bank.
Oh, key worker.
I was key worker, sorry. But I was allowed to not work and get paid.
Yeah. Oh, that's so mad, actually.
Did you wear one of the little badges that said, I'm a key worker?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what's mad though? We all became key workers because we lost all of our clients, but we just learned how to do Facebook ads. And I'm sitting at home, I'm renting a room in South Croydon at the time. And I go on my Instagram, I see this guy, he's selling fruit and veg boxes in Beckenham for like 20 quid. And I sent it to Luke. I was like, this is around about the time the supermarkets couldn't deliver food. Do you remember that period?
Yeah.
You just couldn't get a delivery from Tesco's or Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
So I was like, Luke, if we found a way to like sell fruit and veg, we can use these Facebook ads we've just learned how to do and market around the whole of South London. And then the missing piece was, well, how do we find the fruit and veg? Well, our mate Connor, he's a fruit and veg seller. So we brought him in and we found a couple of connections where we could buy fruit and veg in bulk. We would then run Facebook ads saying, you know, fruit and veg, same day delivery. And we made £30 boxes, couple carrots and potatoes, just generic vegetables. And literally first day, bang, we sold out.
It was like
25 boxes.
You get 100 messages a day. It was crazy.
We were running message campaigns on Facebook. That was our entry into Facebook ads. That was it. And literally there was a time, first couple of weeks in, we were like, we're going to be the next Amazon, man. This is mad.
It was so busy. Like all of us, but 3 of us on the road the whole day delivering. My nan and granddad were packing the fruit and veg. It was mad. But we were making decent money. And obviously at this time, everyone was sitting at home because there was nothing to do. And we like being out and about anyway. So we just wanted to be out and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when COVID stopped, we learned so much about ads and customers and all that. Then it was just easy after that.
You know, come to think of it, something we'd done, what I didn't realize at the time, the way we marketed that business was mad, because we started an Instagram account, right? So we weren't just running ads, and everyone we delivered a fruit and veg box to, we would take a video with, so I'm just here with Sally and here's our fruit and veg box. And people were like looking at us as if we were like doing such a good thing. They're like, oh my God,
heroes.
you're risking your lives during a pandemic, giving us vegetables. And then we started marketing NHS workers free fruit and veg.
Yeah.
So now everyone thinks we're fucking heroes, and we're like giving the leftovers to the NHS workers. Yeah, it blew up, man. It was big for about a month. It was doing well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then where was it where it went, we're not doing this anymore?
When the supermarkets caught up again.
Right.
Start doing same day delivery. There wasn't really a demand for it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we were still in employment around this time, and it was November later that year when COVID wasn't really it was a thing, but it wasn't locked down. Maybe we had like communities and you'd have to be outside and shit. I ended up getting fired from my recruitment job because the minute we started making some money from the agency, my billings just went down the
Because you were too focused on which makes sense.
You know how it is in sales. Like if you're not performing, you're getting fired. So I got fired, and I just decided I'm going to go full time in the business, and that's how it really started.
Are you still working at Metro Bank, right?
Oh, I was working at that time.
No, I meant as in now.
Oh no, not anymore.
Still a teller.
Yeah.
No, but when did you quit?
When Sam lost his job, he's like, oh, what do I do? Spoke to his mum. Obviously, his mum's like, oh, you got to go and get another job. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you know what? You can have all the money basically from the business and pay yourself and go full time. We got an office. So we had the office, we had Sam working full time, we had a VA working full time in the Philippines, and I was just working in my lunch and after work. And my manager was really safe with me. She was a Crystal Palace fan. I'm a Crystal Palace fan. She was retiring. She would let me work on my laptop doing the agency at work.
I love it.
It was sick. So Sam just cracked on, and then I was trying to get a mortgage at the time, so I had to wait until that went through. That went through after like that summer, and then the day I got my mortgage, quit on the day, and then we were full time from then, really.
It's funny, when I had my job, I actually quit. We had the mortgage all lined up. The completion date was like a month's time. And I just got to a point where I was like, I cannot do this. My wife now, she was like, "What? Don't quit your job. Wait till we've got them." I was like, well, we're going to get it. We're fine. And lucky enough, we did get it, but I ended up quitting my job before. It hurts your soul. Like I used to walk into the office and I would just be looking around, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. I hated it. I was in debt and everything. I was like, I don't care. I was 24 at the time, so I was like, what's the worst going to happen? I'll just go move back in with my mum and dad.
It's funny, actually. It's around about the same age I think I was. Maybe I was 25, 26 when I went full time. And I remember when I did get fired, the business was doing about 2,000 a month. That was roughly where the revenue was. But the first month, anyone that knows, I'm not a morning person, right? Like, I think we were just talking about this off camera.
Yeah.
But I was waking up like I had this new profound energy. Like I'm a full-time entrepreneur now. I was waking up at 4:30, bro, in the morning. I would go running. I was kind of chubby at the time, but I'd go running. Like everything I saw these gurus doing, I emulated.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that sustainable, but like the first month we 2x'd the company, hit 4K, and then every single month gradually the revenue would grow.
You like when you were doing full time, there's enough to pay yourself, pay for the VA. Like it was all just costs.
Yes,
it was everything to live on. And then as soon as I quit, and we could both be together the whole time, which we'd never been together like in the same space. We're always online, really.
Yeah,
5 days a week. We just got it from 4K to 10K within that month.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? That's true. Because I remember when Luke went full time, we were like, shit, we need to kind of make an extra 3,000 a month just so Luke can pay himself, I can pay myself. And we weren't making enough. But it's weird how the universe works. You know, when like you have to make a certain amount of money, you just make it. And that month there was enough for us to pay everybody, which was good. And it's funny because I look at where we are now, like we've just grown so much. We've got clients in the UAE, the UK, the USA, we're doing pretty decent numbers. We've got, how many staff have we got? We've actually trimmed down a little, but we've got 14, 15 staff that are working for the brand. Some staff have been with us for like 3 years. And it's just mad. It's mad how far you can go in such a short, well, it's not really a short space of time, but like, a 6-year period.
What I love about you guys as well is that obviously I follow you guys on Instagram, and Sam, like I see you constantly traveling UAE, and you're always like, I'm with this client today, I'm with that client today. You go there, film content with them, and it's like that a lot of agency owners would hate to go meet their clients because they know they're not delivering the best result. It's even like in my case, it's like when I first started my agency, I would hate to have met my clients because the results were trash. Like, I just didn't know what I was doing. But now it's like with CCM, with Team Follow Up AI and all that, like I love meeting my clients because it actually works and we get great results and all that. So it just shows that the fact you're willing to go out there and you've got a diverse group of clients now and you're able to go out there and meet all them. And
it's a good USP because you can go and meet your clients and all the clients that you meet, at FAT, they stay longer. Yeah, because they feel, because anyone online, wherever, you can just text them, I don't want to work with you anymore, like I leave you. But if they feel like your friend, and we've made friends from this, generally speak to these people a lot.
It's so true. Yeah,
retention's great, relationships there, and that's what I definitely think that makes us apart from other agencies in the UK space anyway.
Well, you know what our thought process behind this was. The marketing space as a whole is it has a terrible reputation. Marketers have a terrible reputation, right? I'd actually argue almost as bad as estate agents, which is the number one least trusted profession in the UK.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. If you type it on Google, it's really funny. Estate agents are, and then see the most commonly searched terms, like estate agents are not your friend. Estate agents are trash. It's hilarious. So marketers aren't quite there, but like they're not far behind. So I thought in a market space that is so untrusted and so kind of like shady, how can I create a flex which is the opposite of the flex, i.e. the flex being I'm driving a Lambo or I've got a Rollie. Well, that's become the opposite of a flex because nobody trusts it anymore. There's no validity to that. Whereas you can't fake, if I'm on shoot with a client and I've got her name and her business name and her logo, well, I've put my cards on the table there. Like anybody can research that business. And if they know what they're doing, they can see the ads I'm running, they can see the content we're creating. You can't fake that. So that's the process and the strategy with HWM. And for a marketer who's listening to this, wondering how to grow, you just got to do similar to that because you can't fake real relationships.
I love that. I didn't even think about that. When you're sharing that on Instagram, obviously from my point of view, I see it as, oh, he's going to meet clients, that looks great, blah, blah. But the fact you're tagging all your clients, and it shows that, again, like going back to what I was saying earlier, like the fact you're willing to meet your clients, I didn't even think about that whole part of it as well. Yeah. That's so smart.
Happens all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, it can bite you in the arse because, like if you have a client or a potential client who wants to sign up with you, we're very transparent with all of our clients are. People message our clients all the time.
We can do a better job than Luke and Sam and all that stuff.
Yeah, but more so like if somebody wants to work with us, a lot of the time they'll message who they know we already work with to ask questions. But we've built a good enough reputation and a brand where like 95% of people you would message about HW would sing our praises.
Yeah, I love that. Why med spa? Why was that the niche you decided on?
That was just straight luck, really. Like we just did really well for an aesthetic clinic. We realised that if they could make a lot of money from it, they didn't have to spend that much on ads and spend that much on us to get a return. So it just made sense. When we were working with anyone, sometimes you might work with a restaurant and long term they'll probably make their money back, but they won't. It's not good for cash flow. You might pay however much money to get that lead, get that person in, but then they need to come in however many times to actually make the money back. And then there's certain other companies working with like that, whereas the aesthetics was just like a lifetime value of aesthetics client is a lot of money. So we did well for one, like really well, and then they recommended us to someone and we did well for them. So then we just started DMing aesthetic clinics and then just fell into it. So now 90% of our clients are aesthetics, but we do have 10% which is coaches. We've got some trades. We've got
interesting. So you
still dentists. We've got because you know what, when you know how to do it, you know how to do it, and it gives us a little bit of time away from aesthetics as well.
The moment we decided to niche, right? It's funny actually because my old boss, the guy who fired me, although he fired me, he really liked me. Like I remember when he first interviewed me, I met him in North London, and I just bought into him, man. Like he told me about his life. His neighbour's Hermione Granger from Hogwarts, by the way.
From Hogwarts.
From Hogwarts, not even Harry Potter.
He had this big AP on his wrist, and he took me for a walk on his road. He's like, see that house? That's my house. I was like, oh wow, that's a mad house. That house, that's Hermione Granger's house. He's like, see that car? That's Hermione Granger's car. Shit car. She doesn't like cars. It was like 2003 Peugeot. I
Got a broomstick. That's
So although he fired me, which rightly so, I wasn't doing enough, he gave us some free mentoring where he'd hop on a call and just help us kind of structure business. And he's the one who advised us to actually just niche down into one thing. So we just listened to him. We were like, cool, we'll do it. Med spas is the niche. Is it the best niche? I can't really say no, can I? But no, it's not. I don't think it is necessarily the best niche in the UK to go in. Like if we were to start again, I would have probably niched down into something that could be a subsidiary of a med spa, maybe more like we were talking off camera about surgeons or anything which is more high ticket, because in the med spa space, you've still got a lot of clinic owners who have very low ticket treatments. There's hydrofacial, microneedling, which is fine at volume, but I think you just want to work with anyone who can sell 2K, 3K, 5K. That's where you can really scale up a business, which is streamlined.
What do you think the biggest mistake is that agency owners make when picking a niche?
It's hard to speak, but like from personal experience, I think a big mistake you could take when picking a niche is picking a niche which just generally has a really low ticket price and there's no potential for a higher ticket sale at the end of it. You'll just struggle to charge more.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say, mate. I mean, like some people's niche is funeral businesses and they do well from it. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think with the niche side of things as well is that once you do niche down and you pick something, you get that mastermind effect of like I don't know how much you guys are spending on a monthly basis right now across all your clients, but if you had like a complete split of all your clients, you can't find the winners as easily, if that makes sense. And you're not able to, like, when you get a new client, you know what works because you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on med spa ads. And so for that treatment, this is the one that
niching is definitely advised niching, just because when you get on a client, it's just so much easier. You know the strategy, and everything. Like if you go on HRO Media, our whole brand is about aesthetics, right? So we would happily sign clients that aren't, and we do, but our whole brand is aesthetics. So if you're a roofer and you go onto our brand and we're all about aesthetics, you're less likely to sign up. Whereas if you're an aesthetics brand and you're talking to 3 agencies and one of them does everything and one of them does aesthetics and the other one's whatever, you're gonna more likely go towards the aesthetics one, right? Yeah. Everything's set up and you see trends with the ads. You find something right now, I'm not even gonna say what it is, but it's just working really well for some of our aesthetic clients, and we're like, okay, let's try that for another one, and it works, and so you can see patterns and it just works.
Yeah, I love that. How do you guys split the work?
It's very different lanes, to be honest. So Luke's operations started off marketing director, but you've definitely transitioned more into just running the operation of the business, I'd say. And we've hired a marketing manager now. I'm very much sales and retention. So new client acquisition, retention. I still do quite a lot of coaching with select few clients as well. So now we have like a kind of side of the business which is more coach focused. Really enjoy the training side. I was running a call center for like 2 years, maybe like 3 years, 2.5 years, which to be fair, when I was running a call center, like mate, we were hitting good numbers. Like I had a very tightly ran operation. Like mate, I would make them like do power hour, or I'd make them stand up. They're fully remote, right? How mad is this? Fully remote. I'd be like, right, everyone send me a video. You can't sit down for an hour. I want you to just smash the fucking phones, because that's the environment I came from. And to be fair, that was probably the golden era of the call center. I got to a stage where I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. Wait, when did you take over the call center?
When he says does a call center, he was looking after more the
training,
the people side of things, whereas I was operational side of things still. So I would still deal with all the technical, go high level work.
Right.
Okay. But he would be every day jumping on with them, like the people side of things, like actually managing
the actual training and the sales management.
Yeah, but then he stopped.
When you said like sales and retention, my opinion is retention's very heavily focused on the product itself. So when you say retention, do you mean more like as in, because obviously Luke's handling the operations side of things. You're handling more of the actual relationship with the client. Is that what it is?
Correct, yeah. And you've got to bear in mind the product is the people of a company like ours. So it's the product within itself is how the CSM is going to build a relationship. The product itself is how the ISAs are going to be able to close a lead, but not just say, here's a special offer. Like we actually need to prone the mind so that when that lead comes in, they buy a package. manage. So there's a lot to it in the sense of, I think like a lot of people in the agency space, they forget how important certain areas of the business actually is. There's a million agencies that offer the same service, but the businesses that hang on to their clients the best, you've got to have a good product, of course you do, right? But a lot of the time it's how you build the strongest relationship as well. It's very important.
I love that. I fully agree with you. With the call center side of things, you guys have been in call center mastery now for, I don't know, over a year or something, probably?
Yeah, I think it's about 18 months.
At what point was it like, you know what, we need help with this? Like, where did that happen?
I'm trying to think actually how I actually heard about it. I don't know if someone recommended it or not, or as an ad.
How did I even meet you guys?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why it came. I can't remember.
What was it? Were you guys in agency lab? Joel Kaplan?
It was.
Briefly.
It was.
Oh, that's where we met you, agency lab.
Because I was a coach in agency lab.
That was
Okay,
it. That
that is where.
That's where it's from.
Because I think you do an hour call there, and then you do the hour. You still do that, the coaching call.
Not with Joel.
Oh, you
Joel
were doing it.
I've got
And
in
then-
different groups, but
And then I think I just heard about it from that actually. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Your system's set up. We spend all of our time goes on the call center. I hate the call center. He hates the call center. Anything that's going to make it better, give it a go. And then we just signed up to it. And
Yeah.
Systems. And it's mad because I remember at the time the systems were very overwhelming. I'm quite good at that stuff, but it's still a lot of work. But now I just know it inside out. Like I know your whole system. Like, I know it. But the hardest thing about it now is I'm the only one who knows it inside out in my business. It's very hard to teach it because I've tweaked it as well. You know, I tweak it, not exactly what you've done.
of course, yeah, that's
like
the whole
everyone
point.
does.
Yeah.
So now it's like I'm the only one that knows it. So I'm like, I don't like anyone touching it because they'll break it. So that's a problem right now. I'll tell you that.
When we first had the call center, there was just no system behind it. Like zero system. Like we would do loads of bookings. And then like on paper, it'd be like, oh, we had a really good day today. But like now we can actually see the numbers. Back then we would have thought we had a good day. But if we had 20 clients, we might have done 30 bookings, but it was only for 6 of the clients out of the 30 or 20 we call for. So the systems that you've helped us build are very, very solid.
Yeah.
Sure, definitely helps.
Love that, man. And how many setters have you got right now? Like human setters have you got right now?
Less now than we ever have before.
Interesting.
And the reason behind that is I've actually came to the conclusion, as has Luke, that for a client to actually have the privilege of us calling the leads for, that client's got to have the right processes in-house, the branding has to be in a good place, they have to have a specific ad budget, we have to trust their system as a business, because we've had clients in the past, and I think this is where I started to get a lot of like call center fatigue, where like we might actually send a specific client 30 bookings in a month with a show up rate of 80%, but they sold like no packages, right? Like no packages. Not all the time, this is a rare occurrence, but we realized it's because we weren't vetting the clients that we were bringing on well enough. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
There's so much work that goes into the whole 360 if we're going to do the call center. So if we're going to put that work in, the client has to be the right type of client for that. So right now we have, I think it's 5 setters. We did at a stage have 10 when I was very involved with it. But when we go back to that period, it's like that was one of the most stressful, miserable times of my business life because we were calling leads in the USA, the UK at one stage, Dubai. The USA has, is it 6 time zones?
Oh,
five or 6?
Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific. And then if you're counting Hawaii, they've got their own one as well.
It's 5.
So that's 5.
5 plus the UK 6 plus Dubai 7.
It's like 24/7.
24/7.
That's a lot.
Pain in the arse.
Yeah.
Didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I bet. That does not sound fun. And so what I'm interested with that is, do you find though that if you're not doing the call center for certain clients, because like you're better off having appointments coming in, even if they're not closing them, because if they see the value and they're like, okay, maybe it's me, not them. Do you not find the retention's lower on them other clients?
Depends who it is, bro. It really depends who it is. Like some of the clients who have been with us for the longest period of time don't use the call center. They just have really good in-house processes. So to kind of flip that a little bit, actually, how I sometimes think about it is, if you're a business who needs a call center, is that because you have a hole in your ship that you haven't been able to fix? Which then leads me to think maybe there's other holes, which a lot of the time that can be the case, because one of our most successful clients, Hannah London, they have a clinic in Colindale on Harley Street, been with us for 3 years, 2.5 million a year business. There was a time we actually called the leads for them, but they've got such a tight process now. They've got 4 receptionists. The receptionist called the leads within 5 minutes. So it's very like subjective that sometimes yes, but sometimes no.
So basically, just go on to that as well. So if we're not going to be calling your leads, though, we'll still more or less install the same system, but for them.
Yeah. with a lot of training.
Yeah, so because obviously we know that the lead calling is one of the most important things, right? It's annoying because it's like we used to just be a marketing agency, we just run ads, and now we have to run your ads, we have to call your leads, we then have to make sure that they show up. Then when they show up, we got to try and coach you on how to sell a package because you don't know how to sell to them. Then we have to coach you on following up. Then we have to coach you on actually keeping them as a customer. It's mad. It's like
might as well open your own med spa.
It's fucking crazy.
It does get to that point. It does get to that point.
And then they're so reliant on it. So like, we think now Sam brings the clients on here. It's an approach of, okay, cool. Does it make sense for us to call them, or shall we try and train your business to call them?
It's just different offers, basically.
Yeah. So it's still
different
important.
offers.
Yeah, I love that. How's the AI stuff fit into this? Because obviously you guys were one of the beta clients for Team Follow Up AI, and you've been with us since, which is great. With the human callers, like I'm gonna pretend I don't know anything just for the benefit of the audience. But what is the AI voice doing for you guys at the moment? How's all that working?
So with AI, I have mixed opinions on that AI in general. I think that for trying to call somebody, and in aesthetics you need to actually try and get a deposit, because people will just say on the phone I'm going to show up and they just don't show up, or they just will say they're going to pay a deposit and they just don't. So that side of things I think it's much harder. I think if you use it as like a qualification instead of a sales pitch and then pass them over to someone, that is a better strategy. So right now we've been trialing it, haven't we? We've moved to that. We've actually pivoted, so we're not trying to call it's just call the lead, qualify them over 3 questions, and then live transfer them over. I think that pivot, obviously we're still in the process of it, so I can't say if it's definitely going to work, but it seems better than trying to persuade them to sell, because when you're on the phone to the AI bots for too long time,
you start to realize
they'll start to realize. Some people don't though. I've listened to 17-minute conversations where they don't. I think they're really good, but I think trying to sell to someone, it's hard because they don't have common sense. The bots don't have common sense because they don't know the whole picture. You can try and give as much information about the business, but they don't know the whole picture, and they can't make decisions. They only can make decisions based on what you're giving it, right? But the one thing they're really good at that is speed to lead though. That is one thing. That is, it will call the lead as soon as it comes through.
It's quite hard to get a human to do that.
Yes.
Despite what you teach them, as you know.
It definitely is.
That's one good thing about the AI. But to kind of flip it, actually, I want to ask you a question. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Do you feel like AI would be able to ever take over the sales industry?
The analogy I give for this is, imagine when before emails, right? Before you even had the printing press, right? Like if you got a handwritten note, everyone sent a handwritten note. It's a normal thing, right? Then all of a sudden people started typing up letters on emails, or even if you get a letter in the post, if it's a typed up letter, you're like, oh, okay, another junk. If you get a handwritten letter in the post, you're like, oh, that's sick. Like you feel really special, right? And it's the same thing. Like AI voice will, or any AI will get to the point where it is performing better than humans in the sense of sales, and like it can do a better job, and like people won't be able to tell the difference, right? That will happen. But there will be lots of regulations around having to declare it's AI. And so then what will happen is people will be like, is this AI? And they'll be like, no, I'm actually a real person. They'll be like, this is a real person? Like, wow, that's it. It'll be the same as getting a handwritten note. You're going to feel that, oh my God, this company actually care about me. So I don't think it's going to be a case where you can just do AI forever and that it's like you never have to worry about humans. The human touch is going to be even more impactful when we get to that point. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And you're so right about the handwritten letter. Do you remember Milkman? You never see Milkman anymore.
No.
You know, like, remember the milk floats?
Yeah.
So like I had a handwritten letter from a guy who branded himself as one of the last remaining milkmen. And he wrote a hand letter with like all of the milk that he's got. And I was like, oh, this is sick. Like I remember the milkman. I mean, I don't even drink milk anymore. I'm lactose intolerant.
But if I did,
I would be hollering in for some milk. That was, I'll never forget that letter.
That's exactly it. And it's interesting about the live transfer stuff, because we've actually noticed that obviously we've got, a lot of clients now on Team Follow Up AI, and we see what works best. And I actually just made a YouTube video about this, about different strategies. And we do find that at the moment with the deposit thing, there's lots of reasons why it gets a bit difficult. But really what we find works best is if you've got a human team, having the AI agent, phone up them leads, qualify them, and then live transfer them to a human, it just works so much better, because any objections, or like the trust is there more because of the fact that it's not AI. And also like even just like the technicalities of getting a deposit, like the card details, and like as smart as AI is, if you try and read it out something like an address, or like it can be a bit weird of it. It can kind of screw it up a little bit. And then you got connected to your banking system or Stripe, whatever it is, and that starts to kind of break apart as well. And so obviously, and like you said, speed to lead as well. It's being been great for.
Getting hold of leads is good, right? Pickup rate is a huge problem, right? Because
Exactly.
your phone now is designed to it's had so many spam messages, so many spam calls. Like it's designed to try and stop these people calling you, even though they filled out a form and asked for a call, it will still come through on your phone saying spam calling or it's a random number. People don't want to answer the phone either. So the humans spend so much time just calling leads all day, and probably they're only actually speaking to leads maybe 20% of the day. Whereas if the AI, because it is good at getting hold of people, because it will call in the morning and the night religiously every day until you want it to stop. It will try and its best to get hold of the lead, and it won't miss a day. Whereas a lead caller, they've got so many leads to get through, maybe tomorrow, if they can't get through everyone today, they have to go tomorrow. Whereas the AI will just do that.
Yeah.
So it's good at getting hold of people, definitely. I think where it just needs to tweak, and it's different for every industry, it's just that conversation. I think every niche will have a different type of conversation that will just work, and it's just kind of figure out what that is.
Yeah.
Like trades and that. If you're just calling up and trying to book someone in for a quote, you're not even trying to sell it. You're just trying to sell the fact that we can come to your house and do a quote to fix your bathroom, to make your bathroom look good.
Yeah.
Not trying to, there's no cost involved, right?
And with the whole AI space in general, it shouldn't be a case, in my opinion, of, at the moment anyway, of AI replacing humans. It should be, how do we essentially, I've just thought this analogy now, it's basically like making an Iron Man. Like Tony Stark is still in the suit, but he's just so much more powerful because he has the suit. The suit. He has the robot. And so essentially it's building the humans to have the AI as the power suit behind it. And so if you've got, for example, if your best setters, if you know they're on the phone for 80% of the day now rather than 20%, you're going to get way more booked appointments. And so if the AI can, even things like database reactivation, we've got some clients where speed to lead is handled completely by the humans, but then we have the AI phone in the power dialer and database reactivation.
That worked really well, to be fair. I forgot about that, but the one aesthetic clinic that we did the database reactivation on, when we first started it was calling every day all the old leads, and it would book people that had never answered the phone, even though we called them 10 times already. They answered the phone this time, which is good enough in itself. Yeah. And it booked people in. Some people didn't show up still. So that's why you need the human element. You still need the human to call up and try and say, look, you've got your appointment here. Just want to confirm you're coming in, etc. So you have to have that human element. But at the end of the day, a human can't call 1,000 leads.
No.
Well, over that's really short space at a time. It just can't when they've got a job to do as well. So reactivation campaigns, I think, winning as well.
Yeah.
You definitely plug into it. If a business has got leads, you're laughing.
Yeah, exactly that. And if you've got the human team just sitting there receiving inbound calls all day from qualified, like it's just
because technically they're gonna be more productive, right? Because right now, they can handle double the amount of accounts if it can work like that, because they're not having to dial, they're just answering the phone.
Exactly. Yeah. Did you guys try? Obviously, before working with Team Follow Up AI, did you try any of like the do-it-yourself like AI solution things?
I was building it alongside a developer at the time, and I actually stopped working with him just because I found the convenience of working with you guys better. So I just found that.
Was that the Indian guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Are they all Indian?
Yeah. Well, my best CTO is Indian. Well, my CTO, who is in no, I was talking about it before. He's insane.
Okay.
He's Indian.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons. I think it had our own system, but you guys are dealing with so many other accounts, so you can notice things. Like you'll notice trends with the AI. So I'll just jump on with your main guy and say, cool, talk me through what's working and what's not working. Like, let's just talk about it transparently and we can go from there. Whereas I can't necessarily do that with my own developer because he's only working with me. So I preferred the fact that I could bounce ideas off someone and then we can work out together, and you guys do all the work. Like, I just have the idea.
Yep.
And you just go and implement it. And because our whole agency, in terms of calling leads, you've built it on guy level, right? You have the system. So implementing the AI into it, there's a little bit of technicality there to make sure it all works how you've taught us to do it. So it's better if you know the system inside out. You've got however many clients on the AI, all using the same system. It's more like going to work than me trying to teach this developer to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually funny because to clarify, we're not using the go high level AI, right? We've got our own AI system we've built out, but we use your workflows to trigger that AI.
Yeah, that's it. The workflows on high level, yeah.
But we're actually moved away from that now as well. We've got, call it V2, whatever you want to call it. And essentially all we do now, you guys work with Closebot, right? You know Closebot.
Yeah.
All you got to do is add a tag, for example, with Closebot, and then it knows what to do. So we've set up all the calling cadence, all of that kind of stuff outside of Go High Level now. All you got to do is add a tag when you want us to call it, and then we'll take care of all the calling cadence we set up in our own software. And that's been working so much better because when you've got to rely on the Go High Level workflows, you know what it's like. Like sometimes
the powder just stops working.
It just stops working, or like you'll get to a point where like you'll see a lead come in and it took 2 minutes to call, and you're like, hold on, 2 minutes is still okay, but it's AI. Why is it do? And you go through it. It's because Go so high level, just didn't have enough server capacity at that time. And it's like, oh, for God. So we built it all out separately now, which obviously we'll get you.
Yeah, I'm on it. So it is better because and you can see it. It's the same setup as high level. Just
exactly.
So
yeah.
You know, there's this one thing that I thought about. It's actually very off topic. It's not about AI. I guess it ties into it slightly, but I was thinking about this on the way here, actually. I think that a marketing agency is actually one of the hardest businesses to build at scale. And I'll explain why. You know, like to build a marketing agency at scale, traditionally you need, say, like 50 clients, 60 clients. But that means you need to have a positive impact on 50 individual businesses, getting them all 50 individual wins, right? Whereas sometimes I think about the flip side of it, you know, like shiny penny syndrome as an entrepreneur. You know, if you just had like a simple business, like we talk about all the time, like like a jet washing business. Have you seen it? Like they wash the driveways, right?
Yeah.
Easy, run ads. You could scale that to 30, 40K a month, I reckon, especially if you do the roofs and stuff as well. But now on the flip side, say you have a jet wash marketing agency, you need 50 of those getting 50 good individual results to scale it. So sometimes I wonder, like, you know, if you went back in time, would you start a marketing agency again? Would we start a marketing agency again? I'm not going to say no, because I really actually have fell in love with it. I love the branding side, I love the content side as well. But I think to scale, it's quite a difficult business to do so. Would you agree?
I think it's a grass is greener. That's the problem there. Every time I used to have a marketing agency. Then I went into the human call center, the original team follow-up. Then I did CCM, and now I'm doing TFU AI. They're all very closely related. It's not like I've started a whole new random business, right? They all worked pretty well together. Yeah. But every time I start a new business, I see the problems, and now I'm at a point after TFU AI as well. Obviously, I see little issues coming up, whatever. I now know that every business has problems. Like I used to think, like, because when I did the info problem, when I did this call center marketing, I was like, this is gonna be so easy. I'm just selling information. Like, I'll just scale this to the moon. This will be great. And that had its own challenges. Like the actual product itself was solid. Like everyone got results pretty much if they went through it. But then trying to sell it was the hard part. And I was like, because people think they can do it on their own. It's very niche. So running ads to it was quite difficult. And then I was like, okay, well, Team Follow-Up AI is done for you. Like people, how could we have a problem with Team Follow-Up AI? And then that's got its own like problems in selling it. And I'm like, you know what? Every business is just, if it was easy to just do, everyone would be doing it, right? Like the problems you find in business, you should actually be grateful for the problems, because that means that once you solve that problem, anyone that wants to compete against you has to go through that same hurdle. And most people are not going to go for that hurdle. They're just going to give up. And so your competition is less. That's why if you look at these AI, local large language model builders, right? Like you got Claude, you got OpenAI, you got a new Chinese one, Z, you've got Grok, you've got about 7 of them, let's say. Why have we not got 5,000 of them? Because they're hard to set up. It's a big task to do that. I think with the jet washing business, it's a great example. It's like, I bet when you started doing that, trying to find someone who can jet wash, as simple as it is,
who's reliable,
turn up on time, right? And because then what you do is you get a guy that starts doing jet washing. You're paying him, let's say, 200 quid a day.
He thinks he can do it for himself,
and he goes, "Why am I can do this myself. He just run some ads and blah blah blah." And it's like, have you guys read the book The E-Myth?
I haven't.
Really good book. It basically talks about how you get someone called a technician. So, for example, in that jet wash example, you'd have a technician, and the technician believes that they can run the business. They don't see the other parts of the business, and they start trying to do it on their own. And it talks about the whole progress for it. It's a really good book. I'd definitely recommend it. But yeah, I think it's just the grass is greener.
I agree. I think one of the best things about a marketing agency, to flip it, is recurring revenue. You know, just anything retainer based.
Saved me so many times.
God said.
Saved me so many times.
It's a big thing. It's like you just get paid every single month if you can provide a good service. People just keep paying you. But where I feel like the real kind of belly is in this industry now, and it's something that you have to earn and work towards, is something that we've started to negotiate with our inner circle clients, is revenue share models and equity, like actually owning a percentage of a business. So we signed a clinic September last year. We worked all of the branding for him from the ground up, right? He invested like $250,000 in the best machines. We scaled him to 55,000 a month. In 4 months, 55K a month, right? He then offered us equity in a slightly different business, still within the medical sector. So now we own, is it 33%? 33%. We own 33% of a medical aesthetics training business now.
Wow.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
It's a long-term play. It's not going to be like a a 25k PIF instantly. But it's just one of those things. It's such a fair way of doing business, because if the client wins, you win. And that's the way marketing should be. And that's the type of stuff we're working towards now. We don't want to sign loads and loads of clients. Like, I'd rather actually just have 10 clients who give us 33% and we can turn into 7-figure businesses.
Mate, I've got a client at the moment. I won't say his name because he likes to be a little bit secretive sometimes, but he has a model where he basically just does, with any med spa he signs up, it's 20% of whatever cash you collect from my marketing. I get 20% of it.
Solid.
And he takes over, like, he helps them with their books. He basically helps them manage their entire business. And he only has like 4 clients, but he makes over 100 grand a month.
Wow.
Because and it's insane. And I think that is, obviously it's a different model to like the typical agency model, but I think it's such a smart play. I love it. Do you feel
like maybe though the typical agency model is slowly dying? I think it is.
Yeah, I think
it's already dead.
Yeah, I think it's a case where, like, back in the day, if you had a laptop, you had internet, you can be an agency, you're good to go. Now, the market's been burned so many times by these kids that they want to see a lot more than just a profile that says I can do ads or whatever, right? And so that's why I think, like, even like the call center thing, the AI voice stuff, like all that is like, even the dashboards in CCM, we've actually got something new coming out. We've talked about Claude before this. You already see it, yeah. We've got that coming out this week, which would be great. And so it's like, imagine you can get on a call with a client, and rather than just going, I do Facebook ads, look at these creatives, you actually load up your like dashboards and you're like, look at this, look at that. They immediately have way more trust of you. Like, wow, this guy's actually got his shit together. He's not just some kid that's trying to, do you know what I mean? So
that's why I like being part of the community as well, though. Because sorry to interrupt you. That's right. It's good, like, because you're always being innovative. Whereas before I was part of your community, obviously I'm the one and Sam trying to come up with ideas on how to make this better. But then you guys, between everyone, think of things that I'm like, that is so useful. Sick. Like, and you implement it so quickly, right? You guys take action. The AI thing, you're like, oh, this works for people, let's do it now. Dashboards, right? They just work. Let's get them out live this week because they're so useful. And it's just an extra benefit. Exactly.
It's even though my main focus is Team Follow Up AI now, like, I'm still, when I see things happen in the call center space, it's like that whole mastermind. I see people talking about different things, and I'm in lots of different groups. If I see there's value to add to you guys, like, I'm never going to just be like, don't care about that anymore. Like, so many of these coaches, I don't want to call myself a coach, but like any of these coaches, they build a product once and then they just kind of like let it run. And I think it's not just about making money. It's also about my reputation and things like that. And I want to make sure that we keep providing that value to you guys, which I think is really important.
Reputation is the most important thing in business. It's so important. Like, where we're from, everybody, saying earlier, everybody kind of knows everybody, right? And me and Luke, probably twice a week, I'll get a message on my Instagram. I'm thinking about launching this business. What do you think? I don't know why everyone thinks that I'm Alan Sugar. I'm genuinely not, right? Run a marketing agency. But anyone local, because they know us through the podcast and what we've built, they'll always try and like pitch me ideas and stuff. And do you know what? That's such like a blessing to be in a situation where people see you as a trusted authority, where they actually just want your advice. Sometimes I struggle to get back to every single DM, as I know Luke does. But, you know, we get offered business opportunities all the time. And sometimes people approach us from the local area saying, hey, like, can you run my ads? And if we feel like we can't get them results, we're not taking the money.
Absolutely. I think that's so spot on, because that short term, you're literally burning your name because of that short term cash, which is just, and if you don't, you know, I get it. Agency owners like probably watching this, like, if you're just starting out and you think, oh, but $2,000, like, I get the temptation there, but long term, it does burn you.
Yeah, I think that's the transition as you get more experience, is the fact that you just learn to say no.
Agreed.
Because we can be so selective now. And when you say no to someone, or so you get someone on a call and you tell them, you know what, I don't actually think we're the right people for you right now. They want you more. It's crazy.
Yeah, they do. It's mad. It's crazy.
It's so nice when you get to that level of business as well, where you don't need money. There are so many times people will hit me up, and I've spoke to so many like time wasters in a way, that there might be some really good leads that are messaging me, and I'm just like, book a call here. Like, if you want to speak to us, just book a call here. Like, but I don't even, you get to a point where it's like, as a CEO, you might think I should still be doing this sales bit if I can, or I could be doing that. But it's like, my time, even jumping on with someone like for 30 minutes, which I think could be a good lead, it's like 30 minutes of my time now, not to sound arrogant, but it's like, it's worth more than the sale. So it's like, you need to just be able to pull yourself away from that and do that. And I think also, like you said, protecting reputation with saying no to things is like, I think it's so important. I get, especially the AI voice, oh, can it do like customer service? I'm like, we don't do that. I had one guy the other day, I was like, oh, I want to do a bunch of cold outbound. Can you build me a web page where I send them it cold out and they put their name and number in, and then the AI voice will like sell them on booking an appointment. And it's like, that could be pretty related to what we do, but I'm like, that's not what we do. We don't do that. Like, I'm not building your webpage. Our thing is you generate leads for your clients or for yourself. We phone them up, we put them in for appointments. Like, when you stick to your lane, it's also very, your team love it as well, because your team are like, Aaron's actually protecting us. He's not just trying to get money and just sell people. He's actually trying to make sure that we're working on the right things, and we're not, because my team would do loads of different things if I asked them to, but I'm protecting their time. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's important. And you probably remember a few years back when you had your first couple of wins. Like, I remember there was this one time we had this aesthetics training academy. They needed help with sales training. They offered me $1,000 just for a day of my time. And this is like 4 years ago, right? So I was like, $1,000 for a day? I was like, I used to earn that in a month.
How many Rolexes is that?
Like, that's a lot of money for one day. Like 4 years ago, bearing in mind I was like 25, still kind of on the come up. I couldn't believe it. And I remember like me and Luke were like, how crazy is that? Like 4 years ago, we would work like 2 whole weeks to earn that. And now someone's going to pay it for a day of my time. But now I'm in a position where it's like, I wouldn't actually give away a day of my time for $1,000.
No.
I don't know what the price would be. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
But I reckon I'd make more money if I just stayed in the office.
Yeah, that is exactly it. There are sometimes I feel guilty for that. So people will say to me, I've even got friends that will say to me, hey man, can I like borrow you for an hour? I'll ask questions about blah, blah, blah. And they're like clients of mine. And I'm like, and I even said to one guy, I was like, look, I'll just jump on for like half an hour and help you out because like, he's a good friend, blah, blah, blah. He was like, no. I want to pay you because I know that if we jump on a Zoom call, we're just going to chat shit for an hour and you're not actually going to help me. I want to make sure that you actually help. And I was like, well, my things it's $1,000 an hour. Like, he was like, yeah, I'll pay it. I was like, and even I feel guilty for it, but it's way the results he's got from that call. Like, it's way worth it for them. And I think it's just making sure you protect your time. And like you said, like when I had a job, the thought someone paying me £1,000 for an hour of my time.
Crazy.
It's like, what? But people pay it. Like,
to put that into perspective, right? I used to watch, you know about Suits, Harvey Specter?
Yeah.
Like the best closer of New York. Everyone knows Harvey Specter, right? There was a scene where he says to Donna that he charges $500 an hour. And I remember watching that when I was like 20. I was like, whoa, I want to be like Harvey Specter. $500 an hour is mad. You're charging $1,000 an hour. Like that's a crazy thought. Because if you were to, say for example, if you were to go back to your 15-year-old self and say, hey Aaron, in 15 years time, your time's going to be worth £1,000 an hour and people are actually going to pay it. Your younger self would be like, get out of it. Yeah. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's that quote that you've probably heard before, which is something like 5 years ago, you were praying for the situation you're in now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. Like, and you forget it because as you move through life and you get accustomed to it, you start to not, and then sometimes I've just got to sit back and be like, fucking thank you. Like, thank you for this. Like, you just got to give a bit of gratitude sometimes, because like, it's crazy. And talking about the hourly thing, to completely flip it on its head, something that actually happened to me recently, which really, well, I say recently, about a year, 2 years ago now. You guys know Charlie Morgan, right?
Yes.
So I was in his, I went through his phase, and I just still do it more now, but I went through his phase where I used to join people's groups, not for the information, but just so they would give, the owner of the group would give me the time of day to actually just chat with them. I joined Easy Grow, didn't plan to actually really use the stuff. There was some good stuff in there. But with that, I used to join Charlie's coaching calls and I talked to him a bit, blah, blah, blah. He worked, he found out that we work with gym launch and we do the show rate stuff and lead nurturing and all that kind of thing. And he said, he just hit me up one day. He was like, hey man, like our show rate's like 40%. Can you jump on a call me and my team and just help us figure it out? And I thought to myself, right, if this guy was paying me 10 grand for this hour, what would I do beforehand to prepare? And I took that mindset in and I was like, right, okay. And so I basically booked a fake appointment with his sales team and just put like a Miro board together of every text that I got, every email I got, the times of day, like any time of phone calls I got, but I put it all into this massive board. Anyway, I jumped on the call with him. He's like, hey man, like, yeah, I'll show you the show rate stuff if you want. I was like, well, actually, I prepared something for you if you don't mind having a look. Share the thing. He was like, fuck. He was like, dude, this is insane. And I'm like, oh no, and I went through, I ripped it apart. Like I found so many holes in this process. And after that, he was like, I want to pay you 10 grand to help me with this. I want to, and then he was like, can you be a coach in my community? And it's like, now, no, me and Charlie are good mates now. Like we talk a fair bit. And it's like, that all comes from the complete opposite of what we're saying, where if it's the right opportunity, don't always just expect money for time. Think of it of a longer perspective as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I guess it's kind of like negotiating revenue share deals or like profit percentages when you get confident enough within your skills as a marketer. You're kind of seeing it as more of like a 6 to 12 month play anyway. Who was it? We paid someone £500 for 20 minutes the other day, 30 minutes. Ivan Ivan, you know Ivan, I think he's in your community.
Yeah, he was talking about
The American guy.
That's the guy. No, it's fine. If
Okay.
it's fine. We can keep that in. He's the guy that I was just talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, the med spa guy.
The med spa guy.
I met him
the
through
20
because he was putting in so much value, and I was just learning from it. So I was like,
He-
you know what?
that guy-
An hour. He's clever.
He's
Switched
a
on.
fucking genius.
He's
He
done
is
well,
so smart, slightly autistic, but he is. No, but seriously, he is so good. Have you ever met him in real life?
Nah.
Oh, he's such a great guy as well. Like he's not, because you get a lot of these guys that are super smart and they're really good at what they do, but when you meet them in real life and they're a bit bland or like he's fucking great all round. Like he's so good. Yeah, interesting. So you paid him for some consultation.
Yeah, it was worth it, to be fair. I mean, like, do you know what I've learned? Sometimes you need to pay someone like 500 quid for 30 minutes just for them to remind you on what you kind of already know.
Yeah.
And that's actually
It's
worth
so
it.
true.
Yeah.
It's so people like Hormozi said, people need to be reminded. That's one of the big things I learned when I was working with gym launches. Like Mike, their I think he's their MD now. He used to say to me all the time, like clients or anyone, they need to be reminded or they need to be taught. And it's so true. Sometimes you just got to be reminded of certain things. You know, it's
1,000%. And I think the reason why we find the call center kind of like a bit of a burden to a degree is we made the mistake of, because here's the thing, like you niche in aesthetics and you think you've niched, but actually within aesthetics, there's like 100 other sub niches, devices, manufacturers. So like we would call a lead for any machine or device, but like the greats of the industry have actually hit like crazy numbers. Do you know Hadley Trev?
Yeah,
I met him in Dubai, really cool
Fucking
guy.
really
yeah,
cool
yeah,
guy.
I like Hadley a lot actually. He's coming to London soon. Hopefully
I'm laughing about it because Hadley's actually a client now of Team Follow AI, and I met him. When did I meet him? I met him for the first time about 2 years ago, and he's one of them guys that we're both unfiltered. And we'll just say the complete most rant. So yeah, sorry. Anyway, just when you say Hadley,
cool.
it's laugh.
Yeah, but like Hadley, for example, you know, 6-figure a month agency. Ivan, crazy numbers, like crazy numbers. But they only call for like one treatment in the aesthetics industry. So one treatment. So like now, when you build a call center at scale, you could have 100 clients and you could have like say 30 call agents as an example, right? They can call any business because it's the same treatment, it's the same offer. And like the economy of scale and the way you can scale it is just so much easier than having like one client is doing laser hair removal, they're doing high food, this one's doing more for your sake. It's so hard.
Great mixture.
It's so hard for even like the most talented salesperson to master every treatment and be able to sell it well.
It comes from trust on the call itself because they can speak, they understand how microneedling or whatever, you know, they understand exactly how that works and they're only having to focus on that.
Yeah.
That is the huge selling point. And I think it's the med spa is one of the worst niches in general for that kind of thing because people say I'm in the med spa niche. That's not a freaking niche. Like that really isn't. Like there are so many things there.
There's more treatments.
So many sub niches that when I speak to med spa agencies and they're like, oh, I help only with Morpheus 8, immediately I'm like, okay, this guy's like
specialized.
He's gonna make it have a lot easier job than trying to do it.
That's probably one thing we would change. We were talking about this the other day. Like if we could go back 3 or 4 years ago, we would pick, I don't even know what device it would be, but we would pick one device and we'd specialize in that. But it's funny because I was talking to Hadley last week actually, and I had the same conversation with him and I said, bro, like if I could go back in time, I would have done similar to what you've done. And it's funny because he said if he could go back in time, he wouldn't have picked body.
Grass is greener. It's always going to be
always like that, man. It's always like that. Every
true.
single time, every single model, every single niche, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
With hiring,
yes.
What has been your best hire? If you don't want to say their name or anything, that's fine. But like, I'm curious to know, because I feel like agency owners struggle with hiring a lot. And even myself recently, I've only really discovered, like, I've had really good people work for me, but only recently have I started discovering that when you find these people that can actually think fully on their own and you just say to them, I've got this problem, and they go, yeah, leave it to me, I'll sort it. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm starting to understand it more now. I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. And have you made any of them like really key hires yet?
Yes and no. Like, yes, in the sense of there were people who we thought that we hired that would have all the answers.
Yeah.
I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Who knows that you're talking about? Yeah.
Who was fucking expensive, right?
Yeah.
Like most expensive stuff I think we've ever had. And like this person was good in a lot of ways, but also not so good in other ways. But I'll tell you what a big mistake for us was last year when we really like tried to scale up, and we did scale up. Just because you hire someone who's on like 70k a year or 80k a year, they ain't always going to have all the answers. Like you still actually need to coach and train those higher level staff to work the way that you need them to work. But a challenge for new agency owners is you might hire a CMO or like an operations manager, but then like you might actually not know the answers of what they need to know. And that's really hard.
But that's how, when you know you've actually got a good hire, when they're teaching you things.
Got you.
Like I saw this before. There was a guy that did he does interviews, and he said when he's hiring for them higher level roles, he will go onto it, and if he's not learning like a ton of things, like it should be basically that interview should basically be a consulting call, them consulting you on things, and then you're like, oh my god, you know, all that stuff. If it's a case where you're hiring them, you're teaching them things. And like you said, even that pay range there, you said like $80,000 a year. Like I've never hired someone for more than that. Maybe I could claim that my CTO, he's on a rev share, so he'll be making a lot more than that. But in general, like hiring someone like 400 grand a year, right? Like I've never done that. And I don't think you guys, have you guys? No. And I feel like that's where you start getting them high caliber people. You're like, now it makes sense. But I wasn't, if you guys, apart from that hire you mentioned a second ago, is there anyone else you've hired?
I think with hiring, so I think when you've got a small business, small agency, right, everyone actually is important that we've got. So I think like every hire has been important. We've got a marketing manager, Kareem, we called him Yoda. He's like, when we brought him on, like that was amazing and still amazing because he gets marketing, so he can just understand the strategy, right? He can do the strategy without, I don't know marketing, right? I just started a marketing agency, and obviously you do now, you learn as you go along, but he had jobs in marketing. He understood it better than me. So that was like, oh my God, this is so good. So that was an amazing hire. We've got, I think client success manager is a really important hire, which I tell people to get sooner rather than later because they take so much time away from you most of the time when they're dealing with clients, you know, keeping them happy, doing that. There's so much back and forth with clients, you know, with ads. Ads are running 24/7, right? So there's so many questions they always have. If you've got someone that can just deal with that, then it frees up you time and both us time in business, right?
What do you define as, because I find in the agency space, there's all these roles that people have and everyone's got different definitions for what each person does. So. What do you define as a CSM?
I define, client success manager, right? So like they should manage the client success. So we've got an amazing client success manager he's in Ohio, the USA. So he manages our US clients, but he's also coaching our UK clients as well.
Okay.
So it's all about, CSM has to firstly they have to be likable. They have to be able to build a very strong relationship. They kind of need to be like a social chameleon because every client has a different kind of personality, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, they have to be able to help a client get from where they are now to where they want to go. So a good CSM is always asking the right type of questions. You know, asking the right type of questions like, where do you want to get to, but more so why? Like, how would that change your business? Kind of how somebody would sales train you how to close a deal. You need to bring that same sort of psychology into a client success when they're actually a client as well. And just being able to adapt, like being great at replying fast as well. Like we pride ourselves, we got 2 CSMs by the way, and really we could get away with one. We could easily get away with one because we pride ourselves on like quick communication. Like I'm genuinely obsessed with having the best customer service ever. So like hopping on weekly coaching calls are so important as well. And being able to diversify not just relying on Facebook ads or Google ads. How can we actually help your team sell more? What systems can we bring into the business?
Like a holistic point of view, innit?
Yeah, like could we help you implement finance providers so it's easier for you to sell packages? Can we help you with your Google reviews? Just everything involved in a client success is what I define as a good client success manager. And
so when it comes to like the ads and the results,
the
client success manager essentially is communicating with the clients and the media buyer to make sure it's all working properly. Or do you not find a lot of the time that your CSMs, hey, let me speak to the media buyer and see what happened? Is it a lot like that or not really?
It can happen a little. It can happen occasionally for sure. That can happen.
But the fact that someone's...
I say with our client success managers or manager, that one, he actually understands ads as well. So he'll understand ads as well. And he understands market, aesthetics marketing because he has been doing it for 5 years. Because you can get a client success. We've had quite a few client success managers. But Jandon stands out for us because he had so much experience with aesthetics. He understands how it works. I think that's a big difference because if you understand the industry, if you understand the niche, he's so good at coaching aesthetic clinics because he understands their business inside out from just experience, whereas you can't buy experience. You can get someone who's really good at our other client success manager. He's really good, but in his own way, like he's really good at communication, get back to clients quickly.
He's a very hard worker,
but he doesn't know aesthetics. We're teaching him aesthetics. You know what I'm saying?
You think that can be taught?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
like if you just get them through, have you got like an onboarding process for that, or do Do you
like a training process?
Yeah,
like to teach someone aesthetics?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like with Brandon specifically, when he started, I'd spend an hour a week just on basic market research. It's like, here are the different devices, here are the treatments, here's what we like to offer, here's what we don't like to offer. And we also just get them to do a lot of their own research. But where a CSM really learns the most is by actually just having conversations with clients.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I always teach my CSMs actually, when they first start, I want you to call the clients, explain you're new, you want to get to know them, and just ask them like 5 to 10 questions to get to know them. So you start kind of piecing it all together. Just to add to your previous question, something else that makes a client success manager good as well, they have to be able to, did you hear that?
What, the bang?
Am I losing my mind? Yeah, was that a bang?
Yeah, it was someone closing the door.
We're in Whitechapel. I'm just a little...
No, it was like someone closing the door.
You might have to cut that bit.
It's just gone back from Dubai, innit?
Yeah,
PTSD, bro.
You were from a war
PTSD.
zone. There was a war
Literally.
zone in your 7-star hotel, wherever it
Bro,
was.
I couldn't even sunbathe.
Oh my god! It was crazy. Oh man,
I'm only playing.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Something else that makes a really good CSM is they have to be able to be good at retaining and also contract extensions. Being able to look, complaints arise. This is marketing. Sometimes an ad account gets blocked. Not every campaign makes it. How can you pacify a client? If a client wants to leave, can you retain them without me having to get stepped in? That's something which occasionally I still have to step in with, yeah.
Yeah, do you ever get your CSMs to actually travel? Because obviously you do a lot of traveling yourself to see the clients. Do you ever get your CSMs to do that?
We used to. I mean, we had a CSM in the UK called Alex. He was with us for about a year and a half. He did. But one of our CSMs in Johannesburg, he used to market for Ferrari, actually. Really cool guy.
Cool.
He's called Brandon. The other CSM's called Jandon. Swear to God, Brandon and Jandon.
Yeah.
And he's in Ohio. It's really only kind of us that meet. Well, more so just me who meets the clients. And
Well, for the US clients, I feel like Jandon could.
I think because the US is a mad beast in itself, because in the UK, I mean, you've only got the UK to travel between. You can go and see loads of clients in one day, whereas in America, you're going to have to get a flight there, a flight there. You can't get as much done. Yeah. So, but we're still really strong on the relationship. That's why we say, look, you have to jump on with them every week, conversations every week. Yeah. You need to know what's going on. Like you need to be their friend. You need to know more than just about their business, but you also really need to understand their business inside out, so that when weeks aren't going well, because, you know, when you look at marketing, I don't think you can ever look at a week or a day, you know, oh, the leads are bad today, or the leads are bad this week. Like when you look at it from a bigger perspective, like overall it will work. But sometimes on those bad weeks, what else can you help them with? Can you help them get more Google reviews? Can you help them, the clients that are coming in, how can we get them to spend more money, right? Yeah. And our coaches are really good at that. We're not just ads people. We look at everything inside their business. And that only comes from knowing aesthetics.
Yeah, of
being
course.
in the niche for so long.
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, that's really good. Going with the speed to response, that whole thing there as well, like something that I've been struggling with a little bit recently, and it really drives me mental, is when a client chases up something. Like, let's say we're building a new agent for someone, and like, hey guys, like, any updates on the agent? It's not on you guys, not on the client, but I always say to my team, like, if I ever see them responses, like, they shouldn't be happening. We should be constantly keeping our clients up to date with what's going on, so they don't even have to ask them questions.
Yeah,
I think the customer service, like you're saying, Sam, is so important that a lot of the time, like, even if results dip a little bit, the clients will still stay with you if you have that relationship.
Yeah,
like, and if you
don't
have
want to feel like in the dark. That's one thing you don't want to feel like. You don't want to feel like you don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
You don't know when the next thing's going on.
Exactly.
You have to always know at least, okay, it's going to be done. We need dates and times. And it always helps, because then it's like peace of mind. That's why Uber done so well as a company, right? Uber did so well because people used to order taxis and you were scared that it wouldn't turn up. You don't know if it's going to turn up or not. You haven't had any messages or anything. You can't see it on a map. You're worried. It creates anxiety, right? Uber did so well because they could track where they were and you see it coming towards you. So you know when you're going to you're catching a flight today, you need to be on time. If you can see that Uber coming, you're fine. But if you don't, you've got anxiety. Is it going to show up? Am I going to be late?
So good.
That's a good
point. That's why they did so
I didn't even think about that.
So if you do, every business should incorporate that in some kind of way. If you can keep, if customers know what's going on, if they know where they're at in the journey, then then they're going to be peace of mind, because you hate when them chasing, because you know that they don't know what's going on.
I love that. I love that example. I never thought about that before. That's so good.
I guess it's kind of the same as Deliveroo, isn't it? Or Uber Eats, you know, you can see.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same concept. Yeah, it's you order food. Obviously, it's not as much anxiety as well. Maybe for some people it is, but like maybe for some, I can imagine you sitting there. Where's the fuck's my food? But you're sitting there waiting for the food, and it's like, is it here? Like, you phone up the takeaway again. Hello, like, it's been an hour. Like, are you guys, because you're worried they've forgotten about you, or even when I went to I was traveling back from Amsterdam, or I was at Joe and the Juice, ordered some smoothie, and I'm sitting there, and like 20 minutes goes by. And I'm sitting, I've literally basic smoothie I ordered, and I see people coming in, buying their drinks, leaving. And I'm like, and now I've got the anxiety. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I go to the guy, hey, I've got this, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, oh, let me check. He goes, oh, so sorry, mate, you got missed. Let me do it for you now. And it's like, I wish I thought about this 5 minutes ago because I could have got it. And so it's that whole kind of concept of like not knowing what's going on. It's horrible, that feeling.
It's working out. I think that's like, it's still hard to implement. It's not perfect. It's hard to always tell clients what's going on, but it's better to over communicate than under communicate. I think sounds a really big.
That Uber analogy, man. I'm gonna tell all my team that.
There's a really on ITV X. There's a documentary. It's like a 10-part series about how Uber was created, and it goes into a lot of detail about all that their unique selling points and why they work. And it's good. It's worth watching. I don't know what it's called, but
yeah, I'll find it. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I love that. For some of the newer agency owners out there that may be watching this. If there was one bit of advice, and I'll ask both of you separately, one bit of advice that you could give someone, let's say that 10, 20K a month, and they want to get to that 50, 100K beyond, what's the one thing that you would say to them?
I would say actually ask yourself a question. Why do you want to get to 100K a month? We thought 100K a month would solve all of our problems. Oh, we just want to get to 100K a month. The first time we hit $100K, I'm pretty sure we made no money. Because the amount of overheads that we accumulated just chasing revenue, we started to kind of slowly lose track of profit.
Yeah.
There's this huge hustle culture, isn't there? These hustle bros, spend more on ads, hire more closers, piffs. And it's like, I don't think anyone really teaches you about the power of retention in this coaching space. Because I'll tell you one thing which has been a massive changer. Since we started focusing more on retention and not this whole hustle bro, close, we're actually doing like kind of more money anyway, and like clients are staying longer. Our churn rate sub 5% now.
Wow, that's great.
Sub 5%.
That's incredible.
Sub 5%.
Good
Last
job.
year, certain months it could have been 15 or 20 because we were signing so many clients. Had a team of closers and appointment setters because that's what we got taught. So why do you want to get to 100K a month? Is it because you just want to get to 100K, say, oh, I made 100K? Because you might actually make more profit doing 30K a month with your current system than you would doing 100K a month building a whole team.
Yeah, it's so interesting as well. So with Team Follow Up AI, we did a bunch of push for some to get clients, marketing, whatever else. In March, we did just over 50K. We've only been running it for like, a couple of months. And that was great. I was like, okay, you hit 50K a month, like awesome, whatever. And then easily, I could have got to 100K a month in April. Like I could have pushed easily.
Yeah.
But I was like, hold on, like let's lock in what we've built here first. Let's not just bring on more clients. Let's find all the holes we currently have, fix them, and then when we scale, it'll be a lot easier and we can just keep retain the clients. So I think that's so true. Like the whole, and I've had clients before that they join CCM and they're like, you know, get the kids basically, and they're like, oh, I want 100K a month, and I'm like, dude, but your churn is like 30%. Why would you?
Just chasing
like,
your tail.
what are you doing?
100%.
Like, you're all you're doing is telling the market how bad you are.
Yeah.
Because you're getting more people on, they're gonna have a bad experience. Surely you're better off finding out why your retention is bad, fixing that problem, and then scaling.
You know, as well, like, I think people need to remember what marketing agencies are typically good for and what they're bad for. What you're doing with your call center stuff's great. Like, you could probably sell that and get a good multiplier. Most marketing agencies ain't worth shit. Like, when we first started building a marketing company, we wanted to sell, we want to get an 8-figure valuation. If you remove most founders from a marketing agency,
key man risk.
Key man risk. Your agencies, it's gonna. If your churn rate, let me put this into perspective, right? If your churn rate is 10%, which is a lot of people's goal, sub 10%, in 10 months' time, your agency's dead.
So true.
You've lost 100% of your clients.
That's so true.
If you can get an excellent churn rate, 5%, in 20 months' time, less than 2 years, your agency's dead. And do you think you're going to be able to sell it for 20 million?
Yes,
Probably
so true.
not. So marketing agencies are great for cash flow businesses. They're a cash flow business. It's great. It's like there's not many other industries where you could have 0 qualifications and make 30K a month, 40K a month, 50K a month with a pretty good profit margin. So just ask yourself questions. Why do you actually want to build wealth in the first place? Maybe you don't need to get to 100K. Maybe you can actually set up another company, move your profits from your marketing agency to this company and just buy a property every 6 months. Maybe that could be.
I feel like the agency space, that is a good thing for it. It's like it's the cash flow. It's like a lot of time when people start marketing agencies, it's like a playground to learn business, and then they move into something, a bigger opportunity as time goes by. Which I think yes, is a good point. What would you say your?
I think if it's a newer agency, I think don't be afraid to make hires to free up your time, because when I speak to agency owners, they're doing everything. They're running the adverts themselves. They're calling the leads. They're following up with the leads. They're doing the research. They're just doing everything. And really, like, you want to be. Your main focus as a business owner when you're growing should be building relationships with your clients so they stay, and trying to obviously win more business, and goes hand in hand. Whereas they end up just doing everything. So don't be afraid to hire like a media buyer to free up the time so they're doing the ads. Systemize it. I'd say one thing that I didn't do from the start was systemize everything. I only did it the last 2 years, where it's like everything should be procedure. Make a procedure for that. If someone asks you how to do something and you don't, and make a Loom video on how to do it, because it will free up time, and a lot of things can be delegated if you do it that way. But I think you can scale. Client success manager, really good. That can free up your time.
Yeah.
Like, you just want to be speaking to clients about bringing them on or just building relationships. That should be like your main focus.
With a CSM as well, it's really important you get that hire right, because you hire a good one, it's great. If you hire a bad one, it can be really damaging to your business. It can be very damaging. We hired, the first CSM we hired, she took a client call, and I didn't realize, but she was at like this crazy pool party whilst on a call to a client, and she had like a Burberry bucket hat on. And the client told me about it. Like, I think one of your staff members like at the party. I was like, what the fuck? That's such a weird thing to do. So yeah, first CSM we hired was not good, and we definitely lost clients because of that.
Yeah, maybe you should have moved her to the events company.
Yeah.
Doing that, then it'll be all right. It wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, what would you say if you're starting from zero? What would be the first hire you would make?
Ooh, it depends on your skill set. You know, it depends on what that person's good at. We're lucky because we've got Sam is good at sales and good at speaking. I'm just good at my laptop, you know, like I can just crack on. And we've got completely different skill sets. Yeah. And we can still still know about each other's roles and still jump in if we needed to. But we have our own lanes. Whereas most people are in business on their own, right?
Yeah.
They could be Sam or they could be me.
Yeah.
Depending on that is your next hire. If you're good at just like, I don't know, operations, research, all that kind of thing, then you need to hire someone that's good at sales, right? But if you're good at sales, then you're going to need someone that can.
Opposite, yeah. It's so true. Me and Luke are very lucky in a sense of like, it's very much yin and yang. Like, I'm very good, and I really actually enjoy building relationships and speaking to people, and I love creative thinking as well. I'm really into branding too, so like the organic side, I love that side of marketing. But something that I just really struggle with, to be honest with you, is operations, systems, processes. I find it really hard to focus on it. I don't find it that interesting, but it's so important, isn't it? You can't scale a business without that stuff.
Yes.
It's arguably the most important part of a business is the operation. Luke loves that side of it. So it's a perfect partnership.
So you think hiring someone to make up for a skill you're lacking is more important than hiring someone to give you your time back? So for example, like I don't know the answer to this, by the way. I'm sure there's not a correct answer to this.
Yeah.
But I agree with what you guys are saying. To play devil's advocate, if you were to hire someone to help with, for example, go high level or ops, and you know that inside and out, you can train them better and you can know if they're doing a good job, and it gives you the time back to maybe focus on getting your other skills up to date. What's your thoughts on that?
I do think it's just a case-by-case basis on where you're spending most of your time.
Yeah.
You need to work out, okay, cool, over this week, and track your time just for 1 week. Like we've done it before. Track your time for 1 week and see where it's going, and then work out where you can go first. Because I mean, our first hire was, before I even was full-time technically, was a VA in the Philippines who their whole job was just to DM leads and get leads for Sam to call. That was our first hire. Yeah. You know, and then we hired a marketing manager. That freed me up time because I wasn't having to do briefs on.
Sorry, wait. Just going back to John Dave. Do you remember the incentives we used to give John Dave? So our first ever VA, right? Me and Luke would be on the session. It would be like 3 a.m.
Right.
And we would set John Dave like a weekly incentive. We'd be like, right, what was even the shit we used to do? Like, oh yeah, if you can get 10 leads this week, me and Luke will send you a video, and we'll flip a coin, and whoever loses, like, we're gonna smash an egg open on one of our heads. And he'd be like, oh my God, you bosses are crazy. You're so crazy, bosses.
Did you do it? Who got the egg?
Melons.
Melons?
I'm pretty sure one time we drank vodka out of a dusty work boot. And we'd send him these videos. It'd be like 2 a.m. around my pal's apartment.
Yeah.
And he'd message back like, Boss Sam, I can't believe you just done that to Boss Luke. Is Boss Luke okay?
Is Boss Luke okay? Oh,
that was
man.
funny.
He loved it. He loved it. Yeah, yeah. So like, I mean, that definitely brought in loyalty. I mean, he must have thought we were crazy. But one thing he said is, since we hired him, he's like the richest guy in his village. And he said like, before you hire me, boss Sam, I could never afford beer, and now I'm drowning in beer, boss. I'm drowning in beer.
Oh, great. That's not really what you want to be hearing.
No, he was good though. His job.
It was great stuff. Yeah, it was
But yeah, that's what our first hire.
I think that kind of stuff is so good for loyalty though. Like I haven't had any of my main like team that worked directly for me. No one's ever quit. And I think it's because I'm just like, just don't be a dick. Like just be normal with them. Like we have jokes all the time. Like we'll chat. No, I'm very open to them as well. Like if I make a mistake about something, I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like sorry, but like where most people won't want to admit that, or they have an ego around their business. I think just being super real with people and building that loyalty. Like it sounds silly, but like it does build that loyalty. It builds that culture.
Definitely
people love that.
I think it's quite hard to build that culture when you're fully remote. Like this one thing I think is definitely an advantage to even maybe just being hybrid actually. If you can get people in the office a couple of days a week and like, you know, just little things like you go to the pub for a couple of pints on Friday, or maybe a monthly meet up. When you've got a team across the whole world, it's amazing because you're not limited to one location to hire the best talent.
Agreed.
I do think though, when you're fully remote, the main incentive for anybody is going to be how much they're getting paid, I'd say.
And I remind my team of this as well. I say to them as well, I'll be like, look, at the end of the day, we're all here to make money. I'm here to make money. Like, as much as I love business, I love my clients. We're all here to make money. You're here to make money. If I told you what winds me up is when I had a guy in CCM recently and he was like, oh, the setter was asking about money quite a lot. And it just kind of, is that a red flag? I was like,
you want, it's a green
I was
flag.
like, no, like, I was like, that's because why is everyone pretending that someone should be working for you? Like it's some like big like dream of theirs. Like you're just some random, like they're there for the money. And I think just being open with them about that as well. Like again, it just builds that loyalty. It's just like trust. It's like, okay, this guy's actually being real with us. Like obviously once you build that loyalty to the team, I know that if I told my team one day, like, hey, for this month I actually can't pay up, I know none of them would quit. Like I'm sure they'll be fine. But obviously if I first started and I did that, they wouldn't stay around. But so it does help, but like long term, like everyone's here for the money. Like
we like it when we are trying to hire somebody, especially if they're in sales. It's happening right now. Hopefully, any future people don't see this, but when they're trying to haggle for their salary, we like it.
Yeah,
like, they're hungry for the money.
Obviously,
you should be trying to close us.
Yeah.
You can close if you're trying to close us. I want to see what you're trying to do to persuade us to buy, because then that means I know that when you're trying to get commission, you're going to be doing those same tactics. So we like it.
I like it when they have a compelling spin. I like it when someone asks me for more money and they link it to the value. Like if they can tell me they want more money because they can do X, Y, Z, I'm like, okay, yeah,
next level.
I'm interested. Yeah. But if someone's just like, oh, I just want more money, I just feel like I deserve more money. Okay, but why? Like, do you?
If they give you a real argument of, if you give me more money, I'm able to do this, which will translate to this much money in the business.
Yeah.
You're like,
sold.
Fucking, let's do it. You know?
100%.
Let's go.
Yeah.
This has been great.
I've
really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I've liked it.
This has been great. Like this has been so good. Where can people? I know obviously you're on Instagram. Did you post on Instagram, Luke?
Nah.
A little bit.
No, I don't. I've got Luke_Harvey_HW, but
I think you're more active. I think you should plug your actual personal Instagram because you're more active on that.
What's your
just Luke Harvey with
2 Y's?
Yeah, 3 Y's at the end.
Oh, 3 Y's.
Edgy.
That's more. It's more fun. It's it's
the fun profile.
If you want to see the fun profile, then that's
cool. Love that.
Yeah.
Do you make YouTube content or is it just Instagram stuff mostly?
Just Instagram stuff.
Where can people find you on Instagram?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Samuel Warrington _HW.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll put the links down below anyway. And
we've got the marketing brand, which is Harvey Warrington Media, and we've also got a podcast channel where we interview entrepreneurs in Dubai and the UK called the Multipliers Club.
The Multipliers Club.
Yeah.
Cool, sick. Guys, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much for being here.
Cheers.